Good pass complete for number 30.
Go with the Pioneers out on the field and getting ready to kick it off. They received the ball to start the game. Went 3 and out, and then the Blue Devils turned around and scored on a 95-yard play. But then, since then,
it's been pretty much Pioneers.
It's been all Pioneers, yeah.
Pioneers, I thought, had a really good defensive first half.
One of the best defensive first halves I think I've seen them have in a couple of years.
You know, with the exception of that one play. But anyway, tight end Logan Smith kick off for the Pioneers.
It's a low kick over toward the 20-yard line near us. Ambergy picks it up and goes the other way, reverses way back across the field, trying to change direction. They dive at his ankles and then bring him down over at the 30-yard line.
Made a pretty good run, though.
Yeah, he went all the way back around. You know, he ran
about 40 yards.
To get 10. Really stretched out the field, that's for sure. Got everybody out of breath, but he's brought down.
A lot of east-west. But anyway, ball's on the Castlewood 31-yard line where they will have it first and 10.
Jamie failed to mention this at halftime, but our game of the week next week ought to be a pretty good one as well with Virginia High coming to visit Tommy Bryant Stadium. That'll be me and Merle on the call. Merle up here in the press box with us tonight, not on the air, just a spectator. So you can tune that one in, same time, same place. Castlewood football, and they hand it off to Blevins, and he is pushed back as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and then forward progress probably going to make it close to the line of scrimmage, and then he's pushed back for a loss of 2 or 3, so it's going to depend on the spot right here.
They're going to lose about a yard, Mac. They're going to mark it, I think, on about the 30-yard.
Yeah, I thought he had made it back close to the line of scrimmage at least before he was pushed back, and of course, once you've made it forward, they're not going to take any more away from you.
Tried to run a little jet sweep right that time, but no jet sweep. He got a lot of east-west, but no north-south. 2nd and 11.
Ambergy wide to the right. Wide to the left is Woodruff. Man behind him as well. Wood dropping back the pass. He's going to throw it up looking for Ambergy and diving for it again. That's about the same play we saw before with Ambergy diving for one on that far sideline in the first half. And both times it's incomplete.
Pretty good coverage out there, but I can't see his number now.
It's Walker Dillon in coverage that time.
Dillon, yeah.
Dillon's a good, his offense a lot of times is what we talk about, but his defense, too, is really good.
Yeah, he's a good defensive player.
A lot of times all you hear about is his running ability on the offensive side of things, but he can really play some defense, too.
Yeah, he's got good coverage skills there.
So he 3rd down and 11, another passing situation for the Wood offense. And they go with 4 wide to the left, 2 wide to the right. One in the backfield. Wood's going to drop back to pass. Now he's running around, scrambling a little bit, and then just flings it in the air. And we got a flag coming down over here on the side of the field closest to us, near the 30-yard line. We might have had holding out here on the outside, maybe.
Not sure what he called. He's a long way from the action, though.
We had a couple flags in the first half on the kickoffs, and it is holding. But not many penalties in the ball game. This one goes against Castlewood, so I'm sure the Pioneer coaching staff will decline this one. This is going to be a punting situation.
Yeah, it's 4th down a long way, so the Pioneers don't take that one. Just underway second half, and we're glad you joined us here on WXLZ, also on ARC TV.
Yeah, happy to have those guys along with us again today.
Ernie Binko on the video here tonight.
Kennedy with the kick. They nearly got there, and it's a short one right into the hands of Smith, and he's free for a few yards. We got a flag coming down back here where Smith caught the ball, and I'm not sure what happened there, but flag came down, laundry on the field as he comes across midfield before tackled by a couple different Blue Devils. They nearly got to that punt again. Kennedy had to hurry, and that's why he didn't hit it real good.
They probably got a block in the back.
I think they did. So although they got good pressure on the punter, that's going to be a block in the back on the Pioneers.
So that'll move the ball back to the 39, and then they'll penalize the Pioneers 10 yards, and that'll set it back on the 34-yard line. Now they take it back to the 33.
So that really comes back to bite the Pioneers. They would have been over here across midfield.
Yeah, that cost them about almost 20 yards of field position.
First down and 10 for the Stutes offense. He's under center. 2 wide to the left. Handoff goes to Walker Dillon to the edge. They've got him by the jersey, and it takes about 3 to bring him down. It looked like 52. Brew Mullins was the first guy on the scene, and then he needed some help to get down Dillon.
Took that ball up to the 42-yard line of Lebanon. No gain of about 7 or 8 yards. We'll call it gain of 8.
He's been tough to bring down tonight, Jamie. It's taken 2 or 3 Blue Devils to bring him down.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good night running here.
2 yards to go to get to the marker. So give him again 8. Handoff goes to the short back that time.
That's Stanley.
That's Stanley. Stanley straight ahead for the first down. Thought they might use him in that situation. They've gone to Stanley a couple times tonight in short yardage situations, Jamie, and this time he converts.
Well, you know, Holland's not playing. I just wonder if he's hurt.
Yeah, you know, he's usually the guy. Holland has been a guy that we've called his name several times tonight, so I'm kind of wondering the same thing.
Well, he's down there on the sideline. I see him. He might be banged up a little bit because he's a pretty tough player in there.
Just under 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Pioneers in control, and they've got the football, moving it once again toward midfield. Handoff goes to Walker Dillon. He's over on the left side of the line, trying to get to the outside, and then he is brought down on the play by number 50. That's Caleb Mead, who's made a couple tackles on the night, but dealing with another strong run.
Yeah, he ran hard. He picked up a good 4 yards on that carry.
His goal is to always try to get it to the edge and get to the outside, and that's when he really turns on the jets. If you're going to get him, you got to get it before he gets to the edge a lot of times.
Second down and 6 for the Pioneers. The ball resting at the Castlewood 48-yard line.
So they're in Blue Devil territory. They would have been here before and had not been for the block in the back.
Dillon comes right this time and gets the ball over the 45.
Brought down by Cody Ambergy. And we're at the 45-yard line, little ahead of the 45, I guess it would be.
About 3 yards short of a first down.
Scoreboard show coming your way after the ball game. Mike Lowe does a pretty good job at running down the scores from around Southwest Virginia. He also throws in a little bit of other sports knowledge that he can dig up, college sports, volleyball, whatever's going on at the time, which is good.
High formation for the Pioneers. Oh, Lord, we got...
Long was way off sides over there, and he was asking the official. The official told him to back up. Just did get back to the line of scrimmage, and Dillon got a lot of blockers as he got to the edge over on that left side. Great blocking that time, and Dillon was not touched till he got down to the 30-yard line, so he goes from the 45 to the 30, gain of 15.
Well, they're going to mark it on about the 32.
Oh, it's a bad spot. It's a bad spot, Jamie.
Well, that's not the first one I've seen tonight either.
No, it's not. He got all the way to the 30-yard line, I thought, before brought down, but that's why I'm up here, and the guys in the stripes are on the field.
These 2 guys working the sideline, they're not the fastest officials I've ever seen. They're a little bit behind the play. But anyway, 1st and 10 for the Pioneers.
This is Stutes dropping back the pass. He's looking for Ben Long down the sideline. Long's got it. Did he get in the end zone?
I don't believe he got to the end zone.
No, he's out of bounds at about the 5-yard line, but what a passing catch again, Ben Long.
He ended up against the fence over there, Francis, but he's not hurt.
That Stutes to Long connection tonight has worked a couple different times.
That was a great catch there. They're going to spot it, I think, right on the just inside the 5-yard line.
The catch was as good as the throw. You know, he put it over the shoulder of his receiver. The defender had no chance to get there, and Long just brought it down in stride. You know, he almost got it to the pylon, too.
Yeah,
I had to wait for the call there before I...
Of course, they were completely across the field. We couldn't tell. But anyways, 1st and goal from the 4 for the Pioneers.
1st and goal for Lebanon. Walker Dillon trying to get to the end zone. Oh, the ball came loose. The ball came loose. Wood picked it up. That's awfully close, Jamie. That quick whistle right there probably saved the Pioneers. You know, they had him stood up, and the ball came out of there. I don't think he was down.
He got hit pretty hard down there. But
Wood picked it up, but then the whistle blew.
He got it down the 1-yard line, but they blew that one dead. So it's 2nd and goal for the Pioneers. They're just about a foot short of that goal line.
Lebanon must have had their lucky rabbit's foot and 4-leaf clovers that time, because if had it not been for that quick whistle, I think the Pioneers would have given it up.
Well, Wood would have gone about 100 yards for a touchdown because he had the ball.
1 yard to go.
Stutes, I think.
Stutes straight ahead, and the quarterback Stutes is into the end zone for the score. So Stutes put 6 more on the board for the Pioneers. They came to play tonight. It's 23-6. Extra point coming up here from Walker Dillon. Stutes takes it all the way in. So even after the block and the back penalty, Pioneers still convert, put some points on the board. Highlight of that drive, of course, was the pass and catch. Stutes to Long. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. Castlewood nearly getting there, but coming up just short as it goes through the uprights for the extra point. 24-6, 7 minutes exactly left to go here in the third quarter on 107.3 WXLZ. This one, not nearly the game we thought it was going to be so far, 24-6.
Not so far, but Wood could get loose any time.
He's been a step or two away all night, and they're going to kick it to Phillips, who has a touchdown, the lone touchdown of the night for the Blue Devils, and he brings it way back in their own territory out to the 10-yard line. He didn't handle that one real well and kind of kicked around for a second, and the Pioneers get down the field to make the tackle. That's number 23 on the tackle.
They're going to mark it up about the 20.
Seth Stanley, on the tackle for the Pioneers.
They're going to mark him at the 14-yard line. Gave him forward progress up to there.
I tell you what, he took a shot too, Jamie. 2 or 3, actually.
But anyway, 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils from their own 14-yard line. 6:52 left here in the third quarter. 24-6 now. Lebanon leads it.
Castlewood desperately needing something on this drive, something to come away with on the board. 4 wide to the left, 1 wide to the right. Wood wanting to pass. Still looking to pass. Lays it up for Ward, and the ball is caught for a second by the defender, Smith, and then dropped on the play. I'm not sure if you want to throw towards Smith now.
Freshman Logan Smith did a good job of coverage, and he had a real shot at intercepting that one, just couldn't quite hold it.
Wood kind of flicked it out there looking for somebody, trying to make something happen, and forced it into a window that closed quickly.
Well, anyway, it's 2nd and 10 now.
2nd down 10, 6:45 to go in the third. I think if I'm Castlewood, I'm finding Logan Smith and not throwing it his direction, because he's got an interception tonight for a touchdown and then a near interception right there. And that's going to be motion on the offense. Flag comes down before the play. Wood keeps it himself, dives straight forward, right in the ground after a gain of a couple, but the flag
they're calling
on the way.
Calling an illegal shift, 2-man in motion there for Castlewood. I think the Pioneers probably take that penalty.
Oh, yeah, they do. Five yards, so they accept it.
Well, he picked up several yards that time.
Yeah, he got 4 or 5, so.
It'd have been 3rd and about 6, I think, so.
Probably a good move right there to accept that penalty.
Takes the ball back inside the 10-yard line.
2nd down and 15. Castlewood is in a familiar spot, Jamie, deep in their own territory.
Yeah, they've been backed up here pretty much the entire game.
Wood looking to pass it. Does throw it up. He's got a man open, and just off the fingertips of Phillips. They've been just 1 step or 2 away all night, Jamie, from a big play.
Yeah,
and he had a touchdown right there. It had that ball went a little closer to the receiver.
Yeah, he was covered by one of the linebackers in there, and he gotten a step or 2 on him.
He's got good speed. You know, Phillips can fly, and he just couldn't run that one down, throwing a little too far out of his reach. I actually thought the ball was catchable, to be honest with you.
It was a little bit too far. He couldn't quite get to it.
Another missed opportunity. That's probably the 3rd missed opportunity of the ball game, whether it be offensively or defensively for the squad of the Blue Devils. So it'll be 3rd down and 15. And you can guarantee they're going to go to the air right here, at least maybe a run from Wood. He does pass it deep, looking for Amberg, and it's caught along the sideline. That's going to be a complete pass, and I think they took out Frank Dean on the sideline in the process.
Yeah, they got somebody over there.
I believe it was Frankie. Frank's okay, though.
anyway, that's a gain up to the 41-yard line from the
Big gain for Castlewood, and they're going to rush him up to the line. That's probably been the biggest play we've seen from Castlewood since that first play from Phillips. This one's a throwing catch to Ambergy.
Well thrown ball.
Handoff goes to Phillips. He's got room to work with. And then he's brought down after crossing midfield. He's all the way up near the 40. So Devin Phillips with another big gain on the ground. Castlewood, little momentum here.
Yeah, they're going to mark it at the Pioneer 42-yard line. So 2 big plays here in a row for Castlewood.
And this is a good move here from Coach Henley and the Pioneer coaching staff to call a timeout because Castlewood's rushed them to the line. They're getting this defense a little winded. And a throw and catch to Ambergy down the sideline. A big run from Phillips, and you can kind of feel the momentum building here for the Blue Devils. That Ambergy catch, that might light something here for this Castlewood offense. This is probably the best spot on the field that they've been so far since that big play in the first quarter.
A play like that will ignite the offense. These kids, they're pretty emotional anyway. It doesn't take much to fire them up, and so 2 big plays have Castlewood in good field position.
This time out more than anything, I think it's just maybe to slow down the Castlewood offense a little bit. Your defense is giving up 2 big plays.
Coach Adams might be making a couple of changes too there.
Tweaking things a little bit.
Yeah, because the doctor's a good defensive football coach.
Castlewood was rushing to the line too. They wanted to get another play off. They saw something that was working, a hole in the defense.
Okay, 4 wideouts, 2 either direction.
Wood lines him up, gives him the signal, drops back to pass. Over to the right, throws off his back foot, and it's tipped up in the air. A flag came down, and 2 flags came down. The ball fell to the ground after hitting off the hands of, I think, the receiver and defensive back out there.
I don't know what they called.
I'm not sure what they called here either, but we'll find out.
That was a tip pass, though. Once that pass is
it's
tipped,
live,
you
yeah.
can't call pass interference. But they are calling pass interference.
Apparently contact before the tip pass.
So that'll cost the Pioneers 15 yards. That'll take the ball down inside the 30-yard line.
He had 2 receivers in the area. Wood threw off his back foot, threw a perfect spiral, and the ball was catchable for somebody.
But anyway, both officials called that.
Yeah,
so
they were right on top of it.
They probably had it right.
I would say so.
Ball at the Pioneer 27-yard line now. 1st and 10 for Castlewood.
Trips to the left.
1 wide out to the right.
That wide out to the right's Ambergy. Handoff goes to Phillips, and he is stood up and then drug back after getting back to the line of scrimmage. Brought down on the play. Looks like 51 there on the tackle.
Josh Witt.
That's Witt. Witt has been on the right end of a lot of big hits tonight.
Yeah, he's probably Pioneer's best defensive player.
Wood with the fake handoff, keeping himself, but the Pioneer defense not falling for it. Not a very good fake that time.
Yeah, he's going to lose about 5 yards on that play.
That's again Witt on the tackle. So Josh Witt everywhere, delivering big hits all over the field.
So it's going to be 3rd down and about 14 now for Castlewood from the Pioneer 31-yard line.
And this is a probable passing situation for Josh Wood, who's come up with some big plays through the air on this drive. So we'll see what happens here.
Got all 5 of them split to the left now, 1 to the right.
Loading up that left. Wood dropping back. Looking for room to work with. And then the ball came out at the end, but he was down, I think.
Yeah, they fumbled.
They fumbled. The official called in the direction of the Pioneers. But, I think the official was looking at Jamie and saw the ball laying there. I thought Wood was down. To be honest with you, I mean, they're going to say it's Pioneer football, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
It looked to me like he had hit the ground before that ball came rolling out, but I could be wrong. Of course, that is way over. That's way on the other side of the field.
Yeah, and he had his back to us up. We couldn't really tell because Wood's back was to us.
But I'm just not sure that the official was looking in the right spot at the right time to make that call.
Anyway, he's called a fumble. The Pioneers have it at the Castlewood 47-yard line.
With 4.5 to go, and that
40.
there is a big changer.
43-yard line. There's a little reverse there. Stanley.
That's Stanley
Gets
trying
the
to keep
ball.
his feet over near the sideline.
He gets the ball up to around midfield on a little misdirection. He gained, looked like about 7 yards.
7-8 yards
carry.
before being pushed out. Or at least close to the sideline. Apparently he did not get out of bounds. Clock still moving. I think his knee might have come down just before he got out of bounds. So here we are, 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
It's second.
That fumble really changed things for the Blue Devils because they were in Pioneer territory and looking to score.
Yeah, that was a good drive by Castlewood.
Stutes looking to pass. He's got a man wide open over here, but the Blue Devils get to him before he recognizes it. A couple different guys for Castlewood. David Minton back there along with Caleb Mead, but he had a man open, Jamie, running by himself down the sideline.
He also had a big white jersey right in front of him.
That's exactly right.
He dodged one, but the next one got him, so...
he had Boyd down that sideline. Boyd was running by himself.
He lost a little bit of yardage. It's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Pioneers.
Josh Wood was in a whole heap of trouble over here trying to cover 2 guys himself. Luckily for him, Blue Devils brought down a quarterback in the backfield. Here's Dillon bouncing it to the outside, down the sideline, runs into his own man, and then he's brought down. Brought down on the play by Jack Ward.
But he's over the 50-yard line down to Castlewood's 46, and that's good enough for a first down.
And again, running into his own man, probably the reason he slowed up a little bit.
So about an 11-yard run by Dillon. Castlewood brought the whole team. They were sure he was going to pass, and Dillon able to get that one outside.
He bounced it quickly to the edge and found some open field.
So 1st and 10 Pioneers from the Castlewood 45-yard line.
Fresh set of downs.
2:47 left here in the third quarter.
Wide man to the left. Stutes hands it off. This one goes to Dillon, and Dillon has brought down Jack Ward in the backfield for a loss.
Got him back there pretty quickly.
Jack Ward, pretty good player, too.
Going to lose a couple there.
He's made a couple plays on offense last couple weeks. Made a one-handed catch a couple weeks ago, and, of course, he's a menace on defense as well. Hasn't especially been a good night for the entire Blue Devil team on offense, but last couple weeks have been really good for them.
24-6, the Pioneers lead it here with 2:10 to go.
Tonight's all about the Pioneers. They're driving again across midfield. Pitch goes to the left to Walker Dillon, trying to get to that edge again. This time no room to work with as a host of Blue Devils get him down on the far side near the sideline. Looked like Devin Phillips was over there as well as a couple of the linemen.
Going to lose a couple more yards. They mark it back on the about the 49-yard line off Castlewood. It's 3rd and about 14, I think.
Like 76, Hunter Wright on the tackle. His numbers rolled up. I couldn't tell who it was underneath his pads, but he was the guy who made the tackle for the Blue Devils. And it's 3rd down 14 with a minute and a half to go in the third quarter. This quarter has gone by pretty quickly.
I formation.
Stutes looking to pass, and he takes a big shot off that left defensive line.
I think he lost the ball.
And he lost the football. And anybody after taking that shot would have lost the football. We had a guy coming over untouched.
Pioneers got on the fumble, though. So it'll be 4th and...
Looked like Jonah Cornett was the guy, Jamie, who laid the hit.
Going to be 4th and about 20 now, so...
Came from the blind side of Stutes and put it on him.
Tight end Logan Smith in the punt.
Smith will look to punt, and he's got Wood and Ambergy back to receive. Luckily for the Pioneers, they were able to hang on to the football, but they blocked the punt here. So I think, again, the Pioneers jump on it. So that's 2 loose balls. This time, good play from the special teams for Castlewood.
Great field position now for Castlewood,
and
though.
They've got a good spot to start with. They got back there, and they were on that one. That punt had no chance to get off.
Well, the snap was kind of high. He had to jump up and catch it, and that makes the difference sometimes. But anyway, Castlewood will have it on the Pioneer 35 4-yard line.
With about a half minute left to go.
So big defensive play there for Castlewood puts them in excellent field position.
Couple big defensive plays. One special team and one hit on the quarterback, and now they've got good field position. Wood looking to pass it. Gets away from one man, now having to dodge another. Throws back across field, and this may draw a flag. No, it doesn't. As both players collided, as one was going for the football and one was in coverage.
That pass not catchable anyway.
No, not at all. It was
about 10 yards over the receiver.
As you said, I think it probably maybe farther than that away from the receiver. So that's probably a good no call right there for the officials to not call pass interference.
But anyway, it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Blue Devils.
2nd and 10 for them with 28 seconds to go in the third quarter. 24-6, Castlewood with the football. They've got good field position after the blocked punt. Trying to make something of it here. Getting late in this one, so they need some offense of some kind. Been a tough game since that 95-yard touchdown run. Wood looking to pass. Lays it up midfield. And a flag does come down this time as Ambergy had Dillon on his back trying to make the play. And that drew the flag. And I thought the one before probably was more pass interference than that one. Jamie, what do you think about that one?
That was kind of questionable, but anyway, that's going to cost the Pioneers 15 yards, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for Castlewood. Looked like the defender left his feet though, and came over the back, but. Batted the ball away. I don't know. That one was pretty close.
Yeah, it was questionable.
Both officials called it once again.
But it is a pass interference. That's the official call. So Castlewood will go with it. And here's a high pass toward the end zone, and it's caught near the goal line. Or not.
That's a touchdown.
That's got to be a touchdown. It looked like the receiver over there. The guy that Wood was throwing it to wasn't the one who caught it. It came up a little short, and I think Cameron Blevins may have ran under it to catch it.
Yeah, Blevins with the touchdown, though. So that makes the score 24-12 with 16 seconds left here in the third quarter. So Castlewood here in the third quarter showing a lot more offense than they showed early. Castlewood will go for 2, though.
Castlewood going for 2. They never kick it. Wood looking for the end zone. He dodged several, and he worked for that one. Yeah. I mean, he had to dodge 2, 3, 4 guys before diving across for the 2-point conversion, and that makes it a 10-point game, 24-14. It's getting interesting here with a whole quarter left to go, so we knew Castlewood wasn't going to go quietly.
Still plenty of time.
Cameron Blevins coming up with a big touchdown for the Blue Devils, a throw that I think was intended for Ambergy.
I think it was.
And Blevins just ran under it and caught the short pass. So there you have it. We'll break away. It's a 10-point game, 24-14, 107.3 WXLZ. Not that ball, wasn't it?
Yes.
It looked like 26. You know, he's the brother of Tyler Austin. Half-brother, I think. Remember Tyler Austin that played basketball down there. So Castlewood will kick it off after scoring a touchdown. It's Blevins with the catch in the corner of the end zone, and then Wood fighting his way, literally fighting every inch to get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. And the flag comes down. And is this going to go on the Pioneers, Jamie?
I don't know what he called. Yeah, they're going to penalize Lebanon.
I think Lebanon had too many men on the field. That's a possibility.
Yep, they did.
This one's going to get interesting, Jamie. We got about a whole quarter left to go. Still 16 seconds left to go in the third, but the Blue Devil offense is coming alive here.
Yeah, Pioneers had 12 men on the field there, and they got a flag, so the ball was moved up to the 45-yard line of Castlewood.
This one's kind of turning into the game that we thought it was going to be to start with. Wood sets it on the tee. They'll try to keep it in bounds this time. Low kick. It's caught by Smith. Dangerous guy to kick it to. And he runs into a wall of white jerseys as he tries to go back across the left of the field.
Pretty good field position for Lebanon, though. The ball on about the 38-yard line.
With 9 seconds left to go, ball on the 38, as Jamie mentioned. Castlewood turning things around there in that third quarter. They put some points on the board, something they hadn't done since the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, they'd gone almost 2 full quarters without actually, they'd gone almost 3 full quarters without scoring.
And it always seemed like they were 1 or 2 steps away from breaking one open, and they finally did.
But anyway, that'll put a little pressure on the Pioneer offense.
10-point game. Stutes under center. Goes with a long count. Handoff goes to Dillon. Dillon with no room to work with. Seemed like Castlewood had 2 or 3 linemen in the backfield that time. It's Jonah Cornett to make the play on Walker Dillon as he tries to squeeze in between 2 white jerseys.
He's going to lose about a yard, and that's the end of the third quarter. 24-14, the Pioneers lead it. You're listening to the Game of the Week on 107.3 WXLZ.